In February 2025, Donald Trump signed an executive order carving out a singular exception to his near-total refugee ban: white South African Afrikaners. While tens of thousands of refugees from Afghanistan, Sudan, and other crisis zones were left stranded, particularly the Afghans who assisted the US in the Afghan War, the Trump administration fast-tracked white Afrikaners, descendants of apartheid's architects, as victims of government-sponsored racial discrimination. This policy hinges on a glaring contradiction. Trump's administration has sued corporations for considering race in hiring under DEI programs, calling such efforts immoral. Yet it explicitly used race to justify refugee status for Afrikaners, a group that still controls 75% of South Africa's private land, and whose average household wealth is 20 times that of black South Africans. The first group of Afrikaners arrived in the US within 3 months, a fraction of the 18 to 24 months typical for other refugees. They were greeted as model assimilators, even as Trump's team warned that DEI undermines national cohesion. Behind this lies Elon Musk's influence. The South African-born billionaire, who has falsely claimed white genocide in his homeland, advised Trump on the policy. Musk's role aligns with Project 2025's vision of corporate leaders reshaping federal priorities, replacing career civil servants with loyalists. His opposition to DEI at Tesla and SpaceX contrasts sharply with his advocacy for race-based refugee admissions, exemplifying what some might call administration's ideological flexibility, while others would call it hypocrisy. The Afrikaner exception mirrors Agenda 47's authoritarian playbook. By expanding executive power, Trump bypassed Congress to enact race-conscious policies for Afrikaners while criminalizing DEI programs. This Trump-Musk attitude parallels apartheid-era logic, privileging a minority perceived as ideologically aligned with authoritarian power. Project 2025 Schedule F, reclassifying 50,000 federal workers as at-will employees, has already purged refugee program professionals skeptical of the Afrikaner carve-out. South Africa's government condemned the move as politically motivated, noting that land reforms aim to redress apartheid's thefts, not persecute whites. Legal experts highlight the hypocrisy. The DOJ sues companies for DEI-related discrimination, while Homeland Security fast-tracks Afrikaners using the same racial criteria. Libertarians, typically skeptical of state power, critique Trump's mixed bag as illogical, pardoning nonviolent offenders while militarizing borders. Even MAGA-aligned voices question deportations of Latino migrants, juxtaposed with Afrikaner resettlement. The policy's implications are profound. Rural GOP-dominated states like Texas and Iowa now host Afrikaners in government-funded housing, while Latino asylum seekers face detention centers. Refugee nonprofits, defunded by Trump's orders, scramble to assist these prioritized arrivals. Meanwhile, Musk's control over federal payment systems and immigration logistics through his DOGE task force raises ethical alarms, blurring lines between corporate and state power. Afrikaner organizations in South Africa overwhelmingly rejected Trump's offer. Solidarity, a major trade union, declared, "We are committed to build a future here. We are not going anywhere." Yet the administration persists, framing land reform as racial persecution, while ignoring DEI's roots in remedying redlining and systemic inequality. To summarize, this is selective kindness as authoritarian tool, a blueprint where loyalty trumps law, power is privatized, and the Constitution bends to those who swear allegiance. The Afrikaner exception isn't about refuge, it's a test of Project 2025's vision, replacing merit with ideology, equal protection with racial favoritism, and democracy with corporate-backed rule. As Trump's Agenda 47 advances, America's institutions and its soul hang in the balance.